I want to see magic. I want to see something different. I want to see PLANO in Dallas.
Hell yeah. You know what? You were saying something different, and I was like, there's no way he's about to say the Killers. But yeah, fair enough, fair enough. From a different angle, yes, I would love to see PLANO get their moment in the sun. But it's also difficult to say that because it means that either one of them might, well, it means MIBR won't be there. So
but that's
very
exciting.
Tough. It is exciting, but we love them. It's hard, Freddy. It's hard.
It's
but
hard.
But you've got to get through this hurdle first. Yeah, that's true. All right, first map here, PLANO versus the Killers in our penultimate day, ESL Impact Season 7, and already guns are blazing, dualies singing, and only 2 players left alive for the Killers. We're going to keep this contested, 2 versus 2, and Hera will make her way in onto the site. Remember, Hera had the highest headshot percentage, I believe, in the entire region, so keep an eye out for her very nasty shots. We'll see if they can connect. She's already managed to pick up 2 so far, looking to continue that along. And PLANO will be quite aware of the fact that it's very unlikely they've backed out. They are keeping an eye on that flank just in case. I do like the slowdown here from the Killers, taking a moment, waiting to see if they can bait out one of these players. And Regian's fishing for info, not seeing anything, not hearing anything. Oh, they've made the wrong call. They've started to head over. No, okay. It was just a peek. It was just a peek. That's fair enough. They come back. They do a little bit of the exact same thing that the Killers have done. They catch Hera off. That's the bomb dropped, and unfortunately, Izakrils cannot follow it up. It's a great round from PLANO.
I think that was a great round from kind of everyone combined. I think the 2 versus 2 was played perfectly by the Killers, them just cutting noise and hoping that PLANO had taken the bait and choose to rotate probably the masses away from the B-bomb site, or maybe not play together, so end up being able to section off someone who's not got a teammate with them. But ultimately, it's a fantastic hold from Sinon and Sophia. We picked Sophia for a reason, and it's PLANO on the score sheet early. And I came into this series and I said Ancient's kind of a must for the Killers. Mirage is I would put a lot of my trust in PLANO for that map. So when I look at this series and I look at the Killers taking it on Dust 2, this has to be the map where they succeed. And if they don't, I have a sneaky suspicion it's going to end up being a 2-0 for PLANO. So with the pistol round already being lost, this eco, we're not putting too much onto it, but as soon as that first gun round comes around, I think there's already just a little bit of pressure on the Killers.
And I'm going to take this moment.
What a nade.
Good God.
Sorry,
okay.
Jesus.
Nasty. Okay, that kind of derailed my train of thought. But, so for those that aren't aware, the second European game is still going on, and by those who are not aware, I mean Freddy.
What's happening there?
So that's Prototype Blaze versus Spray and Slay, and it had gone to 1-1 in overtime, if I remember correctly, on map 2. So they are now 6-6 at the half on map 3. So Europe is still going on. I believe that'll be on one of our community streams. So we've also obviously got MIBR taking on the Bounty Hunters on another community stream. And of course, over here, well, you know what's happening here. A lot of women's action still happening right this very minute. Little Z has an AWP in round 3. And it's not even full glass cannon, but she misses. She misses the shot. She gets taken out, but it's okay. Regian's still alive. Almost doesn't connect. Somehow gets 2. The Killers now making their way in towards the site here. One player holding down the line, waiting for a little bit of backup. She's so dangerously low. The spray only manages to connect onto 1. And somehow...
Sophia DC'd.
Oh, she did. Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Oh, no. She DC'd after... Little Zia died with the AWP, so they couldn't round restart. The Killers play a fast round, and they don't even realize it, but it plays into their hand so well. That is actually so heartbreaking to have your first gun round where you make the correct read, you have the AWP in the right position, with support also equally in that right position with the FAMAS it's able to get to. If Little Zia had connected her first shot, which when we sit here and say, oh, Little Z is an AWP third round and they're running into her. Oh yeah, she's definitely going to connect that shot. Apparently not. This is a rare miss for Little Z, someone who we put on quite a pedestal in this team because she was that early, I don't necessarily use the word carry, but she was the probably main reason early on why PLANO was doing so well and has continued throughout the rest of the season. Her missing a shot like that when given a perfect opportunity is something that I'm not too familiar with when I watch Lil Z. So that's unfortunate. And this is just a really brutal first gun round for PLANO. But the Killers, they're sitting there smiling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think that for most teams, that's not how you want to win the round, but a win is a win, man, and we absolutely take those. So they're going to be feeling really good about the fact that they've been given a lifeline to an extent to potentially come back into this. They've picked up that round. Now we do just wait for Sophia to reconnect, and once that happens, this is a perfect positioning. Selex has got an AWP now as well, and now we can see, because this is one of the players that's headed on over to Quemcelas to replace Kami. So we get to see her AWPing in action here again and see, you know, what kind of firepower is making its way over to one of the other teams. But she's going to have to put on a good performance here for her own team, see if she can stop PLANO from, getting their hopes and dreams of Dallas.
So PLANO in a boot camp minus Sophia.
Maybe?
Because I know, well, I saw just there was an PLANO book in the background, and they seem to be in a boot camp facility. Yeah. So I think Little Z is also in this room, but Sophia, yep, there you go. Sophia was not. So I wonder if it's just, if they live in the similar city, they just popped over to play the official from here. I don't know who else, if there is anyone else that's in this room together.
I think that's a smart thing to do, obviously, to try to keep it.
That's a bedroom.
That's very different, yeah. But it's kind of cool if you can kind of play from the same location and have that vibe going on.
Boot camps are different, Gravy.
I have yet to experience a boot camp, and I'm very sad about that fact.
Very fun. Very fun. It, like, you just don't have... Because obviously when you wake up and you obviously, like, some people wake up and play games and it feels like there's nothing else going on in life, but there always kind of is. When you're on a boot camp, there literally is nothing else going on apart from Counter-Strike or whatever game you play. Like, it's this really cool experience that is very... I kind of wish anyone who competes experiences it, because it's really special. You're just kind of together the whole time, and like, you finish playing, go get some drinks, or whatever floats your boat, go do an activity. Like, it's an awesome time, and just playing together as well. Like, when you're in the same room as everyone, it's so much better. It's a completely different experience. Like, everyone can, if someone does something good, you're there. So like with Little Z and the two in the room, like if someone does something really well, boom, high five, you're screaming. If someone does something bad, you're still there being like, don't worry, it's all good. And it goes both ways.
I would love to do that. I mean, there's a LAN at the end of the year. Obviously, you would know about this, but many don't. Big CS LAN in South Africa that takes place at Comic-Con.
That one. Yeah.
Yeah. What were you thinking?
I don't know. You were like, you'll know. So I was like, will I? So I was like, South African LAN. Will I know this? Yeah, no.
Well, your friends in Hayes, so...
Yeah, it's got like a good price point. It's like 13K, isn't it? Or am I just making that up?
Bro, I don't know. Weird fake monetary numbers. I don't know conversions. 13K. That seems really low in South African rand. I don't think that's accurate. I don't know what it is in pounds.
It's the price of a can of Coke.
How much does the money weigh? That's how many pounds it is. All right, we're finally back into this, folks. Sophia, ready to rock and roll. MP9 in hand. Gonna try to make up for that previous round, see if she can farm up a little bit of cash. Unfortunately, no one's anywhere near her. So, oh, wait, no, there we go. The numbers were just a bit wibbly wobbly. She is on the correct site.
I was going to say, she is the Bianca. I was going to be very confused if no one was near her.
Yeah, it would have been a bit of an odd one. Okay. Shot doesn't connect. She survives. But that could be the call for the Killers now. A little bit of util comes out, smattering here and there. No mid presence from PLANO. So the Killers have kind of their run of the map here. Okay, smoke's a bit late, but it will go down. That'll deny a ton of that information. And now we chill.
It's a very interesting to see Little Z hard aggressively save for an AWP twice now, because in the second round only bought a 5.7, this time only a USP, and that is a fantastic opener from Hera, because what it does, look, it just drags everyone away from B, over towards A, and guess what? Even though Sophia does smoke ramp at 30 seconds, the killers will most likely go through the smoke, and Sophia is the only player on the other side playing back lanes. Probably going to have to respect them if they're coming out, but time is ticking pretty low. Hera has pivoted very nicely over towards Red Room. 15 seconds. I'm scared. Wait, is this gone all wrong? Have the killers taken too long? Sophia has fallen, and okay, no, bomb's gone down, and nothing to worry. This should be a round for the killers.
It's all part of the plan. Lil Z Sinan still alive here. Gonna try to retake into this. First one does connect. Sinan gets a second. 1 versus 1. This is doable. She doesn't have a kit, so timing is not on her side. Utility doesn't land onto her. Spots the shoulder. Look at all of that damage. Doesn't have time to reload. She's just gonna run it down. Pistol in hand. She wins the fight. And she'll get the defuse. What was that about a one round, Freddy?
I'm actually in shock that the killers don't win that round.
That's my
Little Z got a kill on it. Little Z started with a USP and got a kill this round. I mean, firstly, you said at the start of the game, was it Sign-On, right? You were like, I want to see a little bit more from her. You know, she's qualified for an ESL Impact LAN. She's played at the top of the world, let alone the region. And yeah, there you go. A 1 versus 2, I think 3 kills in total. This is a round where the killers, I actually am astounded they lose this. This round was harder to lose than it was to win. And somehow Sign-On wins it out. You can see Sophia's chuckling because that 1 kill and delay was actually so big to allow for that clutch and retake. Now the killers, sure, a bomb down, but all they've got is pistols.
That's the Sinan I was waiting for. Awesome to see her show up like that. Ooh, a few shots through the smoke. Bocor manages to slip away. That's a ton of information garnered from her, though. Like, that's obscene. They now know that there is huge presence in towards mid. They're going to set up a few lines of fire. And this pistol round is over before it even really begins. And it's a fairly clean round for a PLANO. I mean, they will lose Bocor and they'll have to reinvest into that. And, okay, their money's a little bit wibbly-wobbly, but the fact that they've won this round, they've taken away any sort of lost streak bonus from the killers, means that the killers are now in, like, some serious trouble. Okay, I think they have, like, 1900 next round. Very little, so...
Full eco.
A little bit of... Yeah, you go,
wait.
exactly. Full eco.
Oh, wait.
No.
They didn't buy in that round.
Oh, fair point, yeah.
I also misread that. I thought that last round was the purchase and this round was going to be the low buy, but that wasn't the case. So the killers last round, you know, they only get 1 kill, but it doesn't have the kind of... Doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things because this is when they get onto the AKs, the 2 Galils, and a Tech 9. It's still a very low purchase, and I feel like that clutch was not only a big round just on the fact that they're 4-1 up, but that was also a massive momentum round. That clutch, like, it, you know, that whole round, it's going to be a tilter for the killers, and we're going for a very similar play than from the previous. It's going to be fast out mid, the heroic play, as a lot of people deem it. Issue is, sure, they have the control. Issa Krids is on 1 HP and Flystyle's on 35, and Little Z's on the A-bomb side to drop Selex even lower.
And there we go. Shot finally will connect, and it's honestly just a shooting gallery at this point. Too much information given over to a PLANO as the killers made their way in towards that A site, and it gave so much time for a PLANO to start their rotations in. So now all that's left is Hera. She would have to ace here to make it happen, and unfortunately, Sinan just not going to allow that. Sinan, by the way, 11 and 2.
Yeah, where's that come from? I think she, like this. That was a round where PLANO, really good rotations. Naturally, Little Z did start on the A-bomb site, so it's a lot easier to hold for a donut split like that. Actually, split, it was just donut. Killers had no one come through A main, which allowed for Little Z just to funnel on donut, and it was, as you mentioned, a shooting gallery. That was amazing rotations from PLANO, but no, there was just one direction from the killers, and that's round over. They've just run up on the B-bomb site, and they've been chonked down by nades.
Yep. That was a round of all time.
Another
tons
multi
of
to sign
damage
on.
done. Bro, she's on one today. She's literally sitting on a heater. I love it. You know what? You're welcome, Simon. I spoke this into existence. It's all me.
It's all you, Sam. Nothing.
All me. Nothing to do with her and her phenomenal play. It's, you know,
Could be her best performance of the season, I think.
I think
she hasn't had a great season, and that's why you were talking about her.
Yeah. Good to see her stepping up. All right, 6-1. There's still a chance here. Selex has open hand. Again, haven't really seen her. Flystyle is underperforming pretty egregiously today. Like, okay, sure, we're only only 7 rounds in. We're 7 rounds in. And she's yet to put up a kill. And she's been a really solid performer on this roster this season. So this is a little bit scary to see. Hopefully she'll be able to pick things up a bit as she now fights for that Jaguar control. And they keep going for this B hit. I think the other problem is that they're very kind of AB, AB, AB. There isn't too much variance in how they're approaching these rounds.
Yeah, it feels like PLANO kind of have them locked and loaded. Like, you see Little Z in Donut has all of mid control. It's allowing for the 3B presence, and Bokor can be a fast rotation. The killer's trying to run in, and it's just so perfect. Flashbang and a double kill from Sign-On. Sophia now able to direct her attention towards ramp with Reggiane, and Selex left begrudgingly behind this smoke, naded, mollowed, forced away. The killers are being mauled.
I feel like I want to see more info starve from the killers, because a lot of the problem, it's not like PLANO are stacking the correct site every single round, like they've got some sort of freaking ESP about where the killers are going to go, but the reactions are really solid, and a lot of that comes off of early round info. I think the killers are just giving away too much at the start of these rounds, and then they kind of hit the accelerator, and then it all just kind of falls apart.
Through smokes, it's not a good thing. Who would have known?
Yeah, it's a bit rough. I will just say, Prototype Blaze have finally closed out their match over in Europe, so they will take that one 2-1. My predictions are saved. I will continue with my hot streak. Meanwhile, we haven't yet had an update on the MIBR game, so as soon as we get that one, folks, we will give that over. Hera? Okay, nice shot onto Sinan. Finally shut her down, but shouldn't be too much. Actually, Bruna's got a rut now. Okay. I thought maybe with that rifle we'd actually see something happen, but she just like dry swings into the AWP. And so does Flystyle. To be fair, what else were you going to do in that situation? Yeah, okay. That round goes as expected.
This is, I really like how Little Z and PLANO are playing Ancient with the AWP right now. Little Z is basically playing a donut alone a lot of the time. She has 5 kills, but has so much more impact outside of those kills with, as I was mentioning in the two rounds ago, when she had all of mid control, for instance. It basically weaponizes her riflers who are currently all firing on full cylinders. So Little Z only has 5 kills, but don't be fooled by that. And again, in this round, playing support in mid, flashing over, and then pivoting back over towards the A bomb site. And guess what? The bomb's outside of A. And in the meantime, the riflers are being weaponized, as I mentioned, to take mid and lane control. The killers are currently walking right into PLANO's hand, and Flystyle on 0 kills is the only player that can save them, and she is. Big kill in Red Room.
Alright, but that's just the first step. We're gonna need a lot more. No, just straight into Little Z, but Bruna Killer, a nice little trade-off there onto Reggiane, means that now the killers have a bit of a numbers advantage. Little Z misses that shot. You can see she's devastated by that one, and it's all down to Sophia as Sinan bites the dust. So much damage taken. A beautiful round from the killers. This was an adaptation that I feel like we were missing.
Well, that round is Flystyle. That one singular kill in Red Room is the difference maker, because Little Z gets taken out of position. I don't know actually why she felt the need to move, because there was a player in Donut holding the cross, but she moves out of a perfect position, and that's when they start coming through A main. She looks very uncomfortable, and her teammate falls with her because of that. Flystyle then does ultimately get the kill on Little Z. So Flystyle, for me, those first 2 kills in the game, give the Killers a round. Big impact out from her.
This round kicks off quite explosively as well. And not just because of all the HEs that are coming through. Very few of them getting optimal value, but it is a bit of space denial. The Killers are corralled, man. They've literally got nowhere to go unless they completely reverse out or they go directly through Reggie. But the timing on that is heartbreaking. Only 2 players left. I mean, what on earth are you meant to do in this situation? Bomb is at least on the site, but fire raining down on them from every direction. A bomb tap just to bait out something, but more shots will be fired through the paper-thin walls, and all it's done is chip Flystyle down to even lower HP. A 2 versus 3 is doable, but the timing on that. And the fact that Siren was actually blind and still gets that shot is unfortunate. Now Stellax opting to push this, and part of me is saying, surely you just back away. Surely you just hold on to the weapon, but no. She'll get run over, and it's a 9th round for PLANO. We move into the final round of the half, and the Killers will eke out a bye of some description, but can they get another round?
Oh, it's going to be difficult. That bomb had to go down. When they tapped it, the last time they tried to get the bomb down, that was their opportunity. There was a Molo in cave, there was a smoke short, and I think Long was also smoked off. Well, it doesn't matter if Long was smoked off at all. It was mostly the Molo in cave that should have been able to get that bomb down. And because they tap, that to me was like, okay, round's over. This is going to be a round for PLANO. It's just perfect positioning from Little Z. It's perfect from PLANO to take cave control. And now the Killers, can they deny double digits? They're going into mid. They've done this a lot. It's just, we've seen this round so many times, and it's a rare miss from Little Z.
Okay, but she recovers. Not enough to get the second, however. But Regiane will be there for that little bit of backup. A site free and clear, but look at where Regiane is. I mean, she's in such a good position to circle back in, and that's why we're seeing a lot of that util coming up. Bokor burns alive somehow, and Flystyle has finally activated, but is it too little, too late? She's managed to get 3, going for the tap. The smoke starts to clear. No! Oh, Sophia, no, not like this! The knife kill to close out the first half. 10-2 for PLANO.
That's how we like it. That's how it goes. Come on now, baby, let me ease your soul. That's how we live life. Live it up to the top. 'Cause once we start, you know we're never gonna stop. We own it. We're winning every time. We own it. Pushing every day and night. We own it. We don't do compromise. Yeah, yeah. We touch down every time. Every time.
Double digits and a knife kill to end the first half. Oh, Plano, Dallas is it's in their reach.
I mean, literally, and that's because Sinan rolled up in her little car, in her little mini or whatever it is, and she said, "Get it, losers! Going to Dallas." She's had a phenomenal start to this series so far. 18 and 7 casually. That's almost a 3 KD. Couple more kills and we should hit that one. PLANO already have made their way in onto the site. Bomb planted. We've set up our post plants. They've got every avenue covered. The killers now have to retake with one flash. They've already taken down Sophia. That's a darn good start to it, but Reggiane is still alive. She's playing Ring Around the Rosie with the pillar. No shot. Actually, 4 shots. Well done, Reggiane.
Oh my god. She's trying to take Sinon's. She's trying to take her light away, her aura away, because she said, "I'm 16 and 4, guys. Stop talking about Sinon. Look at me." And you know what? That pissed around was won regardless of Reggiane, because little Miss Sophia had a double Molotov over in Spawn for Valorant gameplay. She was going to molotov the bomb, and the killers had a flashing kit, no smoke. So yeah, the round was over anyways. But Reggiane decided to just kill them all and take away the fun. You know, you would have been really pleased by seeing that the end of the rounds though, Sam, because it would have reminded you of some Valorant gameplay.
I will just say no one does that anymore. That's old meta.
Oh, okay,
Don't worry
silly
about
me.
it though. I don't expect you to be up to date.
Yeah, silly me,
Why
I
would
guess.
you? Okay, little Zed. Ace.
Get the ace.
There
Yeah.
we go. Atta girl.
Knife ace. We've got people on 3 KDs. Woo, oh, Plano.
I must admit though, I am here for the off-site post-plant meta. I think that should be a thing in Counter-Strike.
stop,
I would
stop,
love that.
stop.
No, it'll be good. It'll be good. And then all you have to do is you just have to headbutt the util. To quote
Yeah,
a very
sure.
famous meme. Yeah, you just like
catch it. Just catch it.
You gotta play like a football keeper, right? You just headbutt
Yuppies.
and open.
If it hits the floor, then you then explodes.
The floor is lava.
Yeah. The floor is
literally.
impending doom, and so is Ancient. The map pick of killers, well, I think it's safe to say this could be over. It's a fast speed play, and Bokor just isn't stopping. The map 10's of death. 2 opening kills. Bruna is trying to run through, trying to save the day, but there is no chance. Sinon searching for 20 kills. Plano, if they want to make it to Dallas, this is what they have to be doing.
Oh, and for poor the killers, this is looking like the unwinnable situation. That time is ticking away. They don't have a kit. They don't really have anything to work with yet. Isagirls has already been taken out. Select has got 4 HP, just run into the molly. Ah, okay. Nope. She will allow them to get that final kill. It is the good sportsmanship way of ending that round. But Plano, the emotions are just not there. It's another day at the office, right? They went to work, they did their job, and now it's just
That means if you weren't here for map 1, we put a big focus on the resurgence of Bokor and Sophia over the second half of the season to join up with Little Z, and we didn't see. Well, I mean, they obviously did well, but it was the Reggiane and Sinon show, and in our head-to-head, we had Sinon versus Sinon. We had Sinon on map 1 versus Sinon throughout the season so far, and it was just a massive step up, and there's no two ways to put it. The killers got shut down, and on their map pick, it looked pretty rough for them. Now going on to their opponent's map pick, I've got a feeling this could be a fast one in favor of Plano. Ooh.
Ooh, all right, Hera, the headshot queen, continues her reign of terror. How much more can she get done here? So far, it's Reggie-Ann to return fire, and the killers are falling to the wayside. They've managed to make their way in onto the bomb site. PLANO, bomb will be planted. Now the retake is on. All three of them kind of funneling through the same area. No real util to back them up. The crossfires are beautiful, and let's face it, there's not too much more to be done in that round. The first one will go to PLANO.
Reggie-Ann has just absolutely owned everyone. That is her second 4K in 3 pistol rounds. Second 4K in 3 pistol rounds. And this was a player disadvantage to get go as well. Little Zed dies instantly, and this round did look a little bit awkward, but PLANO not only are able to get the bomb up short, but Reggie-Ann just kills everyone. So I'm expecting big things again from her. I think she was like 16-4 to end off map 1 or something within that realm. Very good, basically. And PLANO, yeah, it's just a fantastic start to this second map. And even though this is a pretty nice flash into mid, and it can work with the USPs when you catch off your adversaries just not quite aware and unsuspecting, unfortunately, PLANO were suspecting, they were aware, and they clean up this anti-eco with only losing 1 player.
And we finally have an update on the MIBR game. It seems like they were having some technical issues that kind of delayed things ever so slightly. But they are back into it, and MIBR, unsurprisingly, currently up 7-0. Bounty Hunters have just taken a timeout here. Good time to do so, I would imagine. Gonna need to start pulling in some rounds if they want an opportunity. But that does mean that things are starting to look a bit bleak for PLANO. Because even though it looks like they're going to win here, remember, they need MIBR to lose today to stay in the running for Dallas. But they don't know that. Their hearts and minds are still in this, doing their utmost best to give themselves an opportunity. They will be coming up against Rifles now in this round. And so we slow things down a little bit. Try to catch off one of these players. A little bit of damage onto the window player, but not too much more info given over. So not the worst way that engagement could have gone. Bruna, beautiful swing out from her. She will get traded out, however, as every single player seems to be collapsing in towards mid here, trying to take these fights. Flystyle getting away from that HE is fantastic. Sophia, what are you doing that far up ramp? Gets taken down by Izakrilds, and suddenly PLANO only have 2 players left. It was a 2 versus 4, but Sinan will make it a little bit more manageable. There's still a lot more to be done in this round if they want any sort of a hope of making it happen. But Sinan will continue to put her team on her back. Bomb. No! Bomb's running towards the lurker. The bomb's been lost. Hera, yet another phenomenal shot from her. And Sinan has so much to do. It's going to have to be an ace if they want to win out on this round. She knows where one player is, or suspects as much. And the second, unconfirmed. Has this player pulled back? Have they wrapped around? She will get control of the bomb.
Wait,
and she's made the right call. She's going to hightail it out of there, but was heading to be the right play. Perhaps A would have been an easier one, but the killers have slowed down. They've allowed her to take the bomb. They've slowed down. They're too scared to actually push this, and she's going to get the plant.
This is for the ace. A 1 versus 2, and she has time to work with the killers. Battle buddies up short. Sinan. We'll start hearing them now as they ring off shot, swings out, claims the first headshot so quickly, but it's a massive trade from the newest addition. Her second game on HLTV, and after a rough performance on Ancient, gives the killers a first round.
That was a solid 4K from her as well. So close to clutching that one out. Unfortunately, you know, the killers play that very well. Those last 2 players, they stay together. So as soon as Sinan swings out, yes, they do lose 1, but you can get a trade-off, and you can get a defuse, and Bob's your uncle. PLANO, not how they wanted that round to go. Sinan already up to 5-1. Reggie-Ann actually 6-1 at the moment, off the back of her exceptional start to this
4K
series,
from both of them so far.
Yeah, they're just raking up the stats at this point. I want to see how the killers maintain here, though. 3 from I can never remember what we agreed on was the plural.
Of what?
FAMAS.
I always say FAMI.
Do you? Okay.
I don't know if it's right.
For I have no idea
Say
either.
it. It's
For the sake
French.
of
It's like
congruency, I'll do it as well.
for my.
Is anything else in French that ends in an S, the plural, and I?
I couldn't tell you. I failed French.
Never took it, so I guess the same.
I could have never taken it. It wouldn't have made a difference.
Why is that so relatable?
Anyways, we passed Counter-Strike. PLANO did really well on map 1 to just kind of simply hit the bomb sites. And that's what they're doing. They've taken a lot of information in middle, but Bruna has cleared out the whole of the A bomb site. So even though the killers don't have mid control, they have A control. So there's 3 players ready for this BXQ.
Oh, but were they ready for the utility fly? No. What? Fly style with the spray down the Molotov makes them so incredibly uncomfortable. So as they jump out of that window, they're just being peppered down from every direction. And Bruna Killer, okay, that final kill gets stolen from her. That was a nasty round from Fly Style, and good to see her stepping up as well. She had a bit of a quieter start to that first map, but she seems ready to get back into things.
Didn't even need the extra rotations. Didn't even need it. Flystyle, it's a fantastic triple, and this play with Hera, yeah, they didn't need the extra rotations. They only needed 2, and that's the second round in a row that the killers have taken space on an extremity, and it's paid dividends. 2 rounds ago, it was Hera. Last round, it was Bruna. And sure, Bruna didn't get a kill off it, but it wins them the round. And now PLANO forced down to maybe the first eco we've seen of them this whole series, as the killers will be taking the first ever advantage in scoreline this series. That is a crazy statement to be saying on map 2, but PLANO finally reduced down to the pistols, and Boko's just been triple naded.
Oof. I mean, it's all about sending a message, right? The message is get lost. Finally, we'll see some of that firepower that we know the killers have, right? I mean, we were saying a bit earlier, like it was really surprising given the performance that we saw on Ancient to note that the killers had done very well against stronger caliber teams on that map previously. Now we're seeing the semblances of the killers that we were expecting to see. We know that there's a lot of potential on this roster, and now it's coming to fruition. A solid little bit of util usage in towards mid will get them that first kill, but PLANO have already popped straight through apartments and made their way in onto the site. Sinan, of course, playing tip of that spear. She's cleared out the entire site, but Selax, a beautiful kill from her onto Sophia. Sinan, you know she's there, but she peeks it anyway, and yet another kill to go in favor of the killers. It's a 5v2 retake. They have kits for days. They have everything that they could possibly need. And now they also have the round.
This is a completely different killers from map 1, and it feels so weird to be observing this on Mirage. This was the level that I expected from the killers on Ancient, and they didn't provide that. But now they have come out the gate swinging. Sure, they lost the pistol round, but ever since it has been flawless. Selax getting impact in a way that we didn't see on Ancient, and just all of these individuals kind of coming alive, similar to Selax, like we didn't really see on Ancient. So the killers starting to give potential PLANO a run for their money. This is a dangerous start for the CT side.
We need to keep that momentum going as much as possible. And I think that an important one here is to keep winning these rounds cleanly. Because if a PLANO start to pull back some of the control, pull back on the reins a little bit, and they start getting those guns in, they start building up momentum, the killers are going to struggle to maintain. So building up as much cash as possible by ensuring that your players stay alive for as long as possible is really important here. It's not just about raking in the rounds. You've got to think, long term. Yes, play for the round in front of you. That is the most important round. No other round matters if you can't get the one that you're in. But there is a semblance of, I need to be thinking about the future. I need to be thinking about every eventuality, because this is kind of last chance saloon for them.
Wrap through A. Orp smoked off in CT, trying to play ahead of that. And Bruna, first blood, 1-2, left, right, good night. And she's continuing forward. Bruna, killer in name, killer by nature. Her teammates are falling, but she's stemmed the bleeding and is now going to allow for the rotation of Flystyle and Hera. This smoke in CT is going to start fading. Well, it just has. And now it opens up the floodgates. A round that potentially could have got awkward if Bruna didn't get a hat trick.
Nice little bit of util usage as well towards the end there. Beautiful flashes. Sure, PLANO do get a bomb plant, so they've got some serious cash to dole out into this round, and they're going to be feeling good about that one. But the Killers get themselves yet another round. And so, given how they looked on that first map, I feel like 2 more rounds minimum on this half to feel comfortable going into the next, because the potential for a snowball if you lose that pistol round is so great. So they really can't afford to let PLANO pick up too many more rounds here. Lil Z has moved into mid, and the Killers have made the right call. They're going to dodge out most of that. Actually posted up very heavily over towards this A site. And to PLANO's credit, this is more of a scouting mission than anything else. Look at it, Issa. Oh, man. She's in such a good position here. They're aware of it. They're expecting it. And they shut it down before it even has a chance to come to fruition. And now the rest of the dominoes can start to topple. There's a player advantage for PLANO. And yet, despite that, they still aren't going overly aggressive. They're taking their time. They know that they're running out of opportunities to come back into this half.
Little Z. Oh, that's a really big missed shot. However, PLANO were ready to spur onto this A-bomb site. Orp denied. Sign-On. Oh, sorry. Sign-On keeping up her very good performance individually. Bomb can get planted, but we've got to be careful of Hera. Coming from CT could disrupt this bomb being planted. Now she swings out, back turned, lines up 2, only able to get 1. Bomb now dropped, but it doesn't matter because Reggie-Ann came from underpass and assassinates the 2 that were trying to help out their teammate, the Killers. It's a very good round, just gets caught off guard at the end.
We had some interesting flanks on flanks happening. I liked the push out here. I like the fact that we're trying to take that space, get in behind them, set up those flanks. But Sophia, eyes in the back of her head, spidey sense tingling. She's not going to allow that to happen. And crucially wins out that battle. So they know that there's now a gap in the armor that they can exploit over on the A site. It's beautifully performed. And as you said, Hera, I think if she gets 2 on that first swing out, then it's a little bit more doable. But with that extra push coming from Reggie-Ann, it was always going to be a very, very tough ask. So we move to the next. And the Killers... Oh, Salax! Trying to get a little bit aggressive, instantly shut down, loses that AWP, can't be recovered. Little Zed, making up for her missed shot earlier, will connect onto 1, get a second as well. And the Killers suffering for their aggression, suffering for wanting to take that space. PLANO wait for them to walk into their crosshairs and shut down another round.
I want whatever Sign-On and Reggie-Ann had for breakfast this morning. I want their routine. I want their settings, because that's 2 rounds in a row that Selex has been posted up with an AWP, and it's 2 rounds in a row where she's just been wide swung by a rifle. The first was Sign-On towards CT, and then it was this round Reggie-Ann just wide swings through apartments. That is a fantastic piece of just individualism on display by the riflers. And the Killers, they actually just do the exact same aggression that did work in that previous round, but it walks this time into a Little Z that doesn't miss her AWP shot. That's the difference maker. Little Z actually connects, and not just onto 1, but onto 2 as well. PLANO, it's their time to pick up the pace because they're trying to come through A, but Bockel's already been caught off guard in connector.
Reggie-Ann has already taken space in. Sign-In continues to be an issue, but she's going to get traded out. That is an opportunity. However, Little Zed managing to keep things hotly contested. Oh, they don't check for Palace, and Issa, a great shot from her. Now Sophia's in position, but she's been caught out. She's under heavy fire. Nice little HE to do a bit of chip damage there. Can't follow it up. She gets a little bit eager. Salax, a beautiful double from her. peak after peak. And she will confirm a 6th for the Killers.
Yeah, it's good to see Selax hitting those shots after 2 pretty worrying rounds back to back where she's simply put just been owned. Steps up massively with a double to just end off the round, end off any madness, make so that the round was locked and sealed. But really nice from the Killers to completely bait in Issa Krills, and Oplano once again continuously find from behind. The Killers at a minimal do find 6. And Selax, an unfortunate missed shot there. Does mean Bokor survives, and the timing shot with the flashbang almost does connect, but it's Oplano fighting for mid control. The Killers not willing to just give it up, though.
I love that Bokor just moonwalks past the crosshairs. Love to see that. Ooh, that got spicy. There was a hand that was about to peek out, and there it is. Oh, it's not even the person that I thought it was going to be. And Selax gets Ferrari swung, so she loses her life as well. Pieces falling to the wayside. Bomb still very far away, but who needs the bomb when you continue to knock them down? It's a strike. 1 more kill, and it'll be Oplano recovering beautifully, but Hera not want to give up the fight just yet. And yes, the bomb now lost there. Timing on that was very scary, but she does manage to catch Signing Out, and suddenly, against all odds, this is a winnable scenario for the Killers. Hera has to come up huge. She's the headshot queen of South America. 1 shot straight to the dome, and that will secure them this round. The question becomes, what does Sophia do here? Does she opt for the A hit, or does she pivot to B? And yes, she makes the right call. She's going to head over towards that B site, so bomb should get planted. It's going to be a moment before Hera realizes that this A site is completely empty.
Oof, really coming down to the last wire there. Hera, I don't know if you spotted it, but faked dropping into middle, and that's why Sinon came around that corner of the knife out. So she's played this 1 versus 3 so far perfectly, and she will be walking now in to Sophia's crosshair, and Sophia does not miss. There's no dreams for the Killers. Sophia, the nightmare.
That's devastating, man. That was such a winnable position. Hera does so much to keep them alive in that round, but unfortunately, like you said, Sophia, I mean, she was our Kadir player to watch. And
for a reason.
Yeah, she is exceptional. And in that moment when it counts the most, she steps up. Last round and a half now. This is not the buy that the Killers wanted coming into this. An AWP, 2 for Mai, a Deagle, and not terribly much else. Smattering of utility. 1 kit, but will they even have the opportunity to bring that kit out, to do anything with it? Sophia drops the first, walks straight into Hera. She'll continue to be the gatekeeper on this site and deny movement as far as possible. And again, it's another round where Oplano don't commit to anything early on. Okay, they've made some noise A. Rotations have come in. They've made the right call. Bomb's making its way over towards this B site. Now, these footsteps should get heard fairly quickly. Oh, it's another solid shot from Sinon. Despite the utility coming out, she continues to draw their attention. Finally, she'll go down, but now bells have been ringing. Issa Krills has moved over towards this B site. Plano have to clear it out before they can actually take full control. Flystyle with a rifle, ready and waiting. Information given over from Issa Krills, as well as a ton of damage done. But no, Flystyle watching the wrong area, doesn't realize that Lil Zed hasn't dropped down just yet. So plant will come through. And once again, Hera has to clutch this out. Already 2 under her belt. But this time, it's Lil Zed that she comes up against. Lil Zed, who is phenomenal with the AWP, but great with a rifle in her own right. And this clutch is so important for the Killers to have that lead into that next half. She doesn't have the kit on her. It got lost somewhere in the kerfuffle. So this has to be perfect. Time not on her side. She's not going for a fake tap. Instead, she'll throw out the molly. Lil Zed can run straight past it. The HE does the chip damage. The shots connect. And it's a 6-6 half.
like you're falling. Do you recognize that feeling? The demons under your ceiling, when everything hurts and nothing is healing. Yeah, I don't even wanna be awake, cause every second that I live is like a wasting. Can you help me start to replace all the memories that stand in my ways? You know what I really hate the most is that happens to me is like a ghost. It's so far away, I only wanna be okay. Tell me, why should I stay away? If only dreaming can erase the pain. Tell me, why should I waste another minute staying in this critical phase? I'm just praying for some better days. I'm just praying for some better days. I'm just praying for some better days. Some better days. Some better days. I'm just praying for some better days.
Back-to-back clutches for PLANO mean that they keep their head above the water. 6-6 at the half. This is a far more contestable map than Ancient.
But how much closer can it get? PLANO fighting for their Dallas prospects here. Ooh, okay, a little bit of a kerfuffle in under. We'll go 2 for 2. And that's a fairly even trade, and it's one that the Killers will take any day of the week. It's always an advantage for your T's to be getting trades. Regian has gone pretty much unnoticed.
Wow.
Oh, clay pigeon shooting. Nice shot there. Bomb is lost, needs to be recovered. There's a bit of a flank coming in as well. So good potential to set up a cross. Not going to be able to deny that bomb from getting planted. So there's at least that money to come through.
Oh, no.
Woo, sign on. Shots not quite connecting. The Killers running for the hills. Ooh, trying to isolate these fights if they can, but really struggling. Hera, how much more can you get done? Not terribly much, unfortunately. And it's PLANO with the pistol.
Every time I look at Regian on a pistol round, I'm just like, yeah, okay, she's going to hit a really nice shot. I don't know what her pistol stats are and if this is just something we've completely missed, but apparently she's just the best player of all time on pistol rounds. That one kill in the air in isolation gives her team the 3 versus 2, and also with the kit and smoke, just wins out the round single-handedly with that defuse. Perfect coverage from Sign-On and Little Z here as well. Just a really well orchestrated round for PLANO, and that's all 4 pistol rounds so far won for them in this series, and especially in this map, as it's so close, that could be the difference maker.
And that was my big concern for the Killers, knowing that the snowball potential off the back of winning that pistol can be so massive. Interestingly, even with the bomb plant, the Killers don't spend too much into this round, and I quite like that call. I think that you want to go into that gun round with as much of an advantage as you can possibly gather. So let's not overcook things a little bit here. Nice little HE, follows it up by Sophia. Sign-In, not quite going to get any results there, but does slow them down a little bit. Creates an opportunity for the rest of her team to get into position. And at that point, it's just a shooting range.
Yeah, okay, a little bit scrappy from Sign-On there. Gets caught. I don't even know if it's off guard, but just couldn't quite connect the shots. PLANO had a really nice setup though around it, with Sophia taking the first contact. And also the rotation of Little Z. So Sign-On not able to get a kill doesn't ultimately mean much, as the round still comes through for PLANO with 4 players staying alive. The Killers, they actually didn't buy last round. They got the bomb down, but didn't really invest much in. Now the rifles and the AWP out is out instantly, and Little Z decapitated. Good nade, but it's an opening kill for the Killers. Bokor does trade back. Sophia overextends a little bit on short. It's very back and forth. But Sign-On takes the lead, takes charge, and mows 3 down to surely give PLANO the first gun round and extend their ever-growing lead.
I mean, Sign-In is just unfair at this point. She's become like the raid boss. Somebody find the cheat. What was it? Left, right, up, down, something. I don't know. I don't know if I'm.
This is before my time.
I was about to say, like, if I'm not old enough, you definitely aren't old enough.
preaching to the wrong choir right now.
Yeah. Back when cheat codes were, you know, actually a thing. Nowadays, it's frowned upon. With good reason. Ooh,
Pause.
there's no way. There's
Oh my
no
God.
way. 17 HP in a dream. She's gotten 2. It's just the MP9 out of range. She's ducking and diving. She's Neo from the Matrix. The HE to come through, trying to do a little bit of extra damage, and it does. A bit of chip. There's a smoke down in her way, and she has recovered the bomb. This is, I mean, 6 HP. But I'm here for it. The miracle. Ooh, she gets behind cover. Bomb's gonna get planted. She should be able to
She
get
missed
the footstep.
Mollo.
The molly comes out. The molly doesn't hit her. But where is this last player? Has she gone? She hasn't gone right. She has to have gone left. Oh, but with so low HP, there's no way that she's gonna be able to recover that one. Reggie-Ann with the squeakiest clutch of her life.
Oh my God. How many times did she hit her with the MP9 and she just refused to die?
Oof.
And the missed Mollo as well on top of everything. I thought she had that. Issa Krills came into that last round with 4 kills and almost clutched up a 1 versus 3. Ends up being a very expensive round for a PLANO, but they did keep 4 alive in the previous. What it does do, though, is get the bomb down. And Issa Krills actually just going for the hero AK. This was a round, though, where it was the continuous trades and opening kill in favor for the killers until Sign-On stepped up. Was almost a part of the 1 versus 3 being lost. But PLANO 9-6. They were down 4-6 if I'm not mistaken. So that's 5 rounds on the trot. 3 of them have now been a 1 versus 1 that's been claimed for PLANO. And well, maybe this time the killers looking to do without a clutch because they're getting onto the B bomb site. They get onto the B bomb site really well. Sign-On stinks. Sophia's down, and Sign-On does get 2. Is that enough? Little Z is here on time. Bomb should be planted again, and this is going to benefit the next round because this was only a low buy for the killers.
Hera, ooh, I liked her playing a little bit more up close and personal because of the Tech 9. But there you go, upgrades to a rifle and everything is right with the
Oh,
world.
I love this.
We've seen the killers in these winnable positions before. A nice little double up here behind the broken wall. Oh, catches Bokor with util out. It's perfect. They know where the second player is, and what? All right, Lil Z, I don't know how the hell you've just... Can we get that from her POV, please? That was a nasty shot. But there you go. Another round snaked away by PLANO.
This is very close rounds. We're going to add that to the tally of clutches. So, what? It's 6 on the trot for PLANO, if I'm not mistaken. Is there another one to that tally that I am just completely forgetting? No, it is 6 on the trot, and now 4 of them have been produced through clutches. This is an inconceivable play from Little Z, and definitely a bit of a tilter. We're living in Little Z's world, and she's just ruling over us. It is double digits for PLANO, but the killers, they're keeping this really tight. Sure, it's a 4-round game. Sure, it's kind of faded away, and it is 6 in a row against them, but money for PLANO, never able to properly be built up, and it's the rifles out. That last round was a hero AK on Issa Krills. Everyone else is on Tech 9s. And look how much damage they were able to get done. And the only reason that first gun round was won was because of a heroic 3K from Sign-On. So I'm going into this. Scoreline looks one-sided. Don't be fooled.
I mean, I'm just glad to see that Flystyle has also stepped up. I did mention it a little bit earlier on in this map, but it's good to see her really putting up some numbers here. Same with Bruna Killer. It's done a lot to keep their hopes and dreams alive in this series. But unfortunately, it is going to take a little bit more. Most of PLANO are just killing it right now. Oh, okay. Flystyle has contacted all the way up. Beautifully done. They draw out both of those players. There is a crossfire set up, though. So as much as Flystyle will get hers, Bokor gets 2 of her own. Selax will finally connect, and somehow we've gone 1 for 1 for 1 for 1. And Bruna is the last player left alive. The bomb's been lost in mid. She has to come up against this AWP. She'll throw out the smoke. Will be able to recover the bomb. Okay, it's bomb time. She's got the bomb. She'll slip away into the night. But even with a bomb plant here, the clutch is a monumental task. Lil Z has made the right call. She's swapped over onto an M4. Trying to retake with an AWP can be very difficult. As Bruna now repositions, realizing that this is just not on her side. She swings out. shot. Good lord. Okay, trying to use that peak to her advantage, but unfortunately, Bokor will get yet another, a third in this round, and confirm the 11th for Oplano.
Do we add that to tally of clutches? Is that one that's added? Because that was a pretty back and forth round that I just kept on thinking the Killers were going to get away with. But somehow Oplano, they just kept on getting that one extra trade, always in front, and Little Z, that smoke. We saw the crosshair on the outline. If she did pull the trigger eventually, but unfortunately it was too late. And this setup is just really so good to counteract a short crunch. And if I'm not mistaken, that is a missed top con smoke as well, sitting on the ceiling when Little Z gets that kill on short with the AWP. So that con smoke, if it had landed, might have changed the outcome of that previous round. But so far, it is 7 in a row for Oplano, and they are fighting so hard for this spot at Dallas. Issue is, it's not up to them, to be honest. It's up to Bounty Hunters. They've lost map 1, so if they complete the reverse sweep and Oplano can finish off Mirage, the dream's still alive. If not, all of this, unfortunately, is for nothing.
Ooh, Siren, I think she was looking away at just the wrong moment, but she recovers, she stays alive, lays down a molly, gets hers,
Ow.
gets a second. She has to reload. There's no time for that. Pistol out, tons of damage, can't connect the shots, and somehow the Killers off screen, away from where the action was happening outside of apartments, they've managed to whittle away Oplano's defenses. Only one player remains. Full bar of HP for her, though. So she's got a bit of timing. That was scary. She'll slip away.
They've seen her.
Tapped. Yeah, absolutely, but she's still alive. And unfortunately, with them knowing where she is, how much longer is the question? Not terribly much. Rocking a hard place in that one. Very chaotic round from the Killers, but a round that they desperately needed.
I'm looking at Sign on there and I'm just thinking, what more can this girl do? 2 kills and she puts someone down to 10 HP. Sophia needs to be doing a little bit more. Little Z can't be caught off in that rotation, and Reggie-Ann similarly just can't be caught off in connected there. I know Sign-On just does so much heavy lifting, carries the moon for Oplano, but unfortunately the rest of her teammates unable to do anything with that. And because of how close all of these rounds have been, Oplano are straight onto a full eco. It's been a flawless second half so far, but it's been 1 versus 1. It's been 2 versus X's. They haven't been able to build up any sort of funds. So the Killers, as soon as they win one, boom, bank account broken. And sure, it's still a 4-round game, but it's what I said. Don't let this scoreline deceive you.
That's a great opener from Oplano, though. Kind of ridiculous. Deagles go hard. One more here. Make this a far more doable round. Bokor spots one, but she will have to retreat with her position now well telegraphed. The rest of Oplano will start to make their way in fly style. Just absolutely unfair. Run straight down that ramp, straight into the enemy lines. And what was looking like there may have been a chance. Slips away, as does Little Z. Slips away with an AK. And we'll take that into that next round. I was really hoping this would be a more closely contested round, but the Killers...
Damage, I guess.
Yeah. A little bit extra would have been nice, but I think Little Z makes the right call to just hold on to the gun.
Oh, 100%. Because I think she'll have 1900 next round, which will just about get her an AWP and Kevlar. And she can drop over an AK to someone like Sophia, who wouldn't normally have a good purchase going in the next round. So this AK being saved is actually a really big difference maker, potentially, for the following. Very unlucky for Bokor. She hits this crazy first deagle shot. And in my head, I was just like, it's her round. It's her round. They're coming A. Smokes are bad. There's no flashes. It's her round. And then, unfortunately, nothing else to note after that first kill, but the AK being saved, as I said, Little Z gets the AWP, Sophia onto an AK. Everyone has all the bells and whistles in this round where they probably wouldn't have otherwise that saved AK. So that one save weapon, everyone out there, if someone's saving and you're getting annoyed or people are going for unnecessary retakes, go for the save. Money's very fickle on the CT side, and Oplano have dealt with it very nicely. It is a 3-round game, and this is what I'm talking about. The Killers are giving Oplano a run for their money.
What's awesome with that saved rifle is it means that Little Zed has that little bit of extra cash to ensure that the AWP comes out. But Celax's AWP just hits that much harder. Bokor getting shut down in mid so early on, perhaps getting a little bit too eager with that positioning out into mid. But it's another opener here for the Killers. Now, it's not the first time that they've had an opening kill. They've lost a few rounds where they've had that, so they need to pivot off of it. Flystyle dry swings into Little Zed. And she'll say, thank you kindly. Even out those numbers. Make it a far more doable affair. Hera could find herself in a bit of a pickle here. Gonna come straight up into Regiane. But Regiane is being pushed in on. Bruna just swings her, runs her over. And now Lil Zed has to hold on to the site. Another missed shot. She has not been on her top form today. And with that, they will capitulate the site. And PLANO have to 2v4 retake. Or slip away, live to fight another day.
I think it's going to have to be a save. And that's an interesting round from a perspective, because Little Z gets the trade-off. It's a 4 versus 4, and she elects to run away from the A bomb site. And I don't know what's happening. Like, Sign-On comes back over towards A, the B anchor leaves B. I was very confused about the movement of PLANO in that round. And if Little Z was just in a position to support Regiane, who was under balcony a little bit more, it'd be a completely different round. But instead, it's now a 2-round affair, and Celax is 100% a big reason for that. On the CT side, there were 4 rounds in a row, or sorry, it was 4 out of 5 rounds where she got Ferrari peaked by a rifler. Now, she's getting opening kills, winning the AWP duel against Little Z. She's been a big difference maker, and it might not necessarily be seen on the scoreline, but it's really important for the Killers that Celax has stepped up, because this comeback is still possible, as a tactical pause is called for PLANO. It's the first one they used this game. The Killers, they just used tactical pause and won a round off it. And PLANO, unfortunately, I don't think this next round with a tactical pause is going to be an instrumental one. They've got 2,900 loss bonus, they've got 2 saved rifles, and they're basically just going to have to work around that and the odd 5.7 P250.
Which means that there is a very good chance that we could even see an overtime. I'm thinking it's possible. It wouldn't be the first time tonight as well. We had something similar over in Europe. Can the Killers give themselves a stay of execution here? Bokor's shot just does not connect in the way she wanted it to. Gonna do that early bit of damage and cause the Killers to have to slow down even further. Nothing committed just yet. Now the Killers, the bomb is positioned towards the B site, and funnily enough, if they'd opted for a more aggressive start, that actually would have been the right call, but instead they let time tick away. PLANO do a little bit of poking and prodding on the other side of the map. They realize, it doesn't look like it's going to be an A hit, guys. So they move over to reinforce B, and it's the perfect call for now.
Killers could be walking into the lion's den. I'm not sure if they want to open this can of worms, because they might not be able to come out the other side. Sophia, first big kill, trying to be run down. Celax with a Tech 9. It's very awkward. Sophia's still alive, but unfortunately, not a second kill for her troubles. Look, a Sign-On boosted up, swings around, pivots for 2. It's all going wrong for the Killers. A 4 versus 2 for PLANO. The bomb lost in no man's land on the site. In the clutches of Sign-On, Tech 9 out, Celax trying to lead the charge, but to no avail. Sign-On actually falls. Celax puts it into a 1 versus 1, and Little Z only has a USP, finds the right angle, and that's all she needs. A USP to win out the round, and to put PLANO on map and series points.
It's not often that you default to, the USP should win against the AWP, but in such close quarters, unless you hit the craziest no-scope of your life, chances are the USP is going to have a bit of an advantage into that one. And Lil Zed, a seasoned AWPer in her own right, very much aware of that. Beautifully done. And that's what I was saying. Like, the timing on that was so perfect for PLANO because it gave them so much space to rotate over to B to set up those lines. Now, it does get a little bit too close for comfort towards the end there. I think if Sinan doesn't go absolutely nuclear and get those 2 kills, we could be looking at a very different score line. But she does. She continues to be such a big chip, such a big cog in this wheel. 24 kills
Crazy.
in regulation. She just continues to be a problem.
They missed the Rollo.
Now the killers are going to try to push through onto this A site. Reggiane ready and waiting, arms wide open, doesn't expect the second, so she does get traded out. Lil Zed ready and waiting as well, arms wide open, gets the first flash off of her position, takes a ton of damage. Now she has to be backed up by her teammates, but a chunky nade will make things a little bit difficult for Hera. They have given over control of the site, however. Bomb now does get planted. There's an advantage for PLANO in terms of numbers. They have an opportunity. There's a little bit of chip damage that's been done early on. The molly will force the killers back, do a little bit of damage, but they push straight into the killers, and they're just losing their lives, perhaps getting a little bit over-eager here. Bokor and Littles, despite the potential over-eagerness, it's Bokor to clutch out the final round in this map and bring them over into a 2-0 scoreline. They've done everything that they possibly can to give themselves a shot at Dallas. It's so close, and we wait for the final results of the MIBR game, but